Some of y'all may be aware of this, but for those of y'all who are not, I'm actually going to be leaving tomorrow to go up to Washington, D.C. for the summer to study canon law, and actually won't be back until August. And as I've been preparing to leave tomorrow, preparing to drive up, and also reflecting upon the gospel for this week on the Ascension, I realized that there are certain similarities between my leaving and our understanding of the Ascension, and why Christ seemingly left. First, it is best that I go, because I'm going to be learning a subject matter, canon law, that will be very beneficial for the diocese once I complete it. And believe you me, it is hard for me to leave. It truly is. My heart will really remain in the parish. And second, I will be offering up the majority of my masses for the parish, because I celebrate a lot of more private masses up there. And I will be interceding on behalf of St. Joan of Arc and its parishioners during the summer. So if y'all have any special intentions, just send me a text. I'll remember them at Mass. And third, I will return again when I have completed why I was sent there. And each of these reasons corresponds with one reason why Jesus ascended into heaven. Because sadly for many of us, and believe you me, I was in that boat until about my second or third year of theology, we misunderstand the significance of this feast. And even more than that, many of us misunderstand what it means to say that Jesus ascended into heaven. Because we don't mean that Jesus got on a rocket ship or all of a sudden started kind of moving up up into heaven and just kind of stopped in the clouds and is now watching over all of us. Because when we say that Jesus ascended into heaven, we say that he transcended creation, this reality, this world that we live in, and is now with the Father in heaven. And if you're confused even more before than after I explain that, then you're on the right track, because it is mysterious as to how that happened. But back to those three reasons that I was sharing earlier. These will help to really shed some light on why the Ascension happened, and really help us to understand it as truly the amazing gift that it is for each of us. First, as we have been reading in the daily Mass Gospel readings, especially this past week, we are constantly being told by Jesus the importance of him going before us, of his ascension. And he even goes so far as to tell us that it is best for us if he does go. Because by Jesus ascending into heaven, our humanity, which is fully united with his divinity, has now ascended with him into the heavenly throne, into the Godhead. And therefore the same humanity that was the cause of our fall in the Garden of Eden, the same humanity that you and I are constantly challenged with each and every day because of our weakness and proneness to sin, that humanity has been elevated above all the angels, the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, all the heavenly creatures, all the spirits in heaven, and has been united to the Godhead. Our humanity is elevated above all the spirits, the angels in heaven. And second, Jesus did not ascend simply because he was done with what was here to be done on earth. Because he ascended into heaven and is now constantly interceding for humanity. Because his whole desire for humanity, and the reason why he came and was incarnate in the first place, is that we spend eternity with him in heaven. And he is thus interceding on our behalf to the Father, so that every grace that you and I could possibly need to spend eternity with him in heaven is now present to us. And he didn't leave us alone when he ascended, because next weekend we know, what do we celebrate? Pentecost. He then sent forth the third person of the Holy Trinity, the Holy Spirit, to be with us at every moment and to lead us to himself and to the Father, to that unity that the three of them share. And third, Jesus will once again return at his second coming, when the culmination of God's creation comes to its conclusion. Because, my brothers and sisters, it is so important for us to remember that the Ascension is a necessary part of the Paschal mystery. The crucifixion, death, resurrection, and ascension. Because, yes, his crucifixion destroyed the power that death has over us. His resurrection restored us to life. And his ascension elevated our humanity to being greater than the angels. And so how do we respond to such an amazing God who loves us? By allowing our hearts to ascend with him to the contemplation of heaven. Because when we attach our hearts to the passing things of this world, to the material realities, we are not allowing the beauty and purpose of the Ascension to elevate our hearts with Christ into the contemplation of the Godhead. And so let us realize that it is better for us that Jesus ascended into heaven. Let us be assured that he constantly intercedes on our behalf and even sent us the Advocate, the Holy Spirit. And let us be assured that he will one day come again, so that we, his faithful, will spend eternity with him and the Godhead in heaven.